Hello, my name is Jim McLendon, and I'd like to welcome you to the presentation Sell Homes Faster Using Creative Financing, brought to you by McLendon Mortgage Company. If you remember just one thing from our session today, I hope you'll remember this. Creative financing options are a must in today's real estate market. And my objective today is to help you sell your homes faster and build client loyalty using the seller buy-down strategy. We'll do this by helping you understand the seller buy-down and how it works, how to use the seller buy-down to increase your listings, as well as help distinguish them from properties in similar price ranges, and increase customer retention by demonstrating your value to your clients. There are two major challenges that we are dealing with in today's real estate market. Massive inventory. Your listings are competing with FSBOs, bank repos, and other realtor listings. And obtaining financing for borrowers. The tightening of the credit market has resulted in a reduction of mortgage programs that are available to the home buying public. In addition, lenders are scrutinizing borrowers' income more closely, and as a result, many borrowers will not qualify for financing. Why the seller buy-down works? Because it lowers the monthly payment and it makes it easier for a borrower to qualify. Let's look at an example. Let's say you have a borrower who has found a house they like. In this case, the property is listed for $259,000. We're going to assume the borrower is using FHA financing with 3.5% down at a 5.75% 30-year fixed rate. This will give them a total monthly payment, including taxes, insurance, and monthly mortgage insurance, of $1,923.55. And he or she will need $57,706.58 to qualify. Well, let's say the payment's a little higher than what the borrower wishes, and the $259 is just out of his range for qualifying. So what is the typical first reaction? Reduce the sale price. So he submits a sale price or an offer with a sale price of $252,500, which is $6,500 less than the full listing price. So what that does, the interest rate stays the same at 5.75, and you can see it only reduces the payment to $1,886.95, or about $36 a month, and the income needed to qualify is $56,608, only about $1,100 less annually needed to qualify. So this option, this price reduction option, really didn't address either of the borrower's needs. So let's go and look at things a little differently. Instead of asking the seller to take $6,500 less, let's ask him to pay $6,500 in points to buy the interest rate down. So in this case, we still have a sale price of $259. We're using FHA financing, but instead of a 5.75% fixed rate, we're buying the rate down to 4.625. The result is a reduction in payment to $1,750, which is $173.54 less than what the full price offer was, and about $136 less than the reduced price. And more importantly, the borrower only needs $52,500 to qualify to buy this house. So the amount needed has been reduced by about $5,200. So the big takeaway is price reduction is not always the answer. Whereas in this case, we reduced the sale price by $6,500 and only saved the borrower $36 a month. Whereas when we asked the seller to use that same $6,500 to pay points, we were able to reduce the payment by $173 a month and shave off almost $500 a month in income needed to qualify. And the reason for this is the seller buy-down has 7 times the leverage and impact as a price reduction. So when you're talking to your seller about a possible price reduction, consider this. The seller in this example would need to reduce the sale price by $29,000 in order to match the payment and qualifying income that the seller buy-down strategy requires. And with the seller buy-down, everyone wins. The borrower gets a lower monthly payment. He also gets to deduct the points that the seller paid on his taxes. And of course, he should obtain the advice of a CPA. The seller wins because they receive more from the sale of their property. They don't have to reduce it $29,000 in order to get the same borrower in the same range that he qualifies for. And property values are preserved in the neighborhood because you didn't cut the sale price down, and you earn the respect of your client for making the deal work. So what's the next step? Well, if you'll email me property information for 3 of your listings, I'll create a buy-down flyer for each listing as well as a video similar to this that explains the benefits of the buy-down strategy for the buyer as well as for the seller. And included in the video is a link that you can send out to potential customers as well as paste on your website. So I'd like to thank you for taking the time to view this, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me.